Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Hammer. Today is Tuesday, January 6th, 2026. Like I said, my name is Hammer. I am the founder of Originator Success, Grab and Go Social, and Rate Sensei. 3 products to help you get more loans in 2026. Go check them out. Remember, you can join me live each and every weekday morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time when I go live. Let you know what's going on with the world with mortgage rates and pricing. If you would like to join me live and you want a quick reminder, a quick text message, go ahead and sign up for the reminders at hmmr.io/reminder. hmmr.io/reminder. You can also use this cool QR code over here, and that is an easy peasy and simple way to sign up. So let's go ahead and say hi to the live folks, see who we've got here this morning, and then we'll jump into all the good stuff. We've got Nicole Semerad first on this morning. Good morning, Nicole. Great to have you here. Mallory Fotiadis, great to see you, my friend. Hope all is well in your world. How was your holidays? And are you cold plunging? I still don't have the balls to go ahead and get a cold plunge machine and cold plunge. And I couldn't cold plunge here because it's not that cold. I'm loving it this year. It's not that cold. Tim Klyla, good morning, sir. What's it like up there in Michigan? Are you guys getting the freeze? I'm going to Wisconsin in 6 weeks. I'm hoping that it stays cold. We've had a rough couple of years, last few years, has not had winter weather out there. So I know you may not love it, but I love that you have it. So Derek Bobadilla, good morning, sir. How are you, Mr. Nexa out in California? Hope your world is well. Allison Foy, great to have you here. Sean Segaloff, Fayez Grabano, good morning. Bobby J. Jones and Christy Van Hewis. Derek had great holidays. I knew you would, Derek. You would have great everything. Ron Siegel said, good morning. It's National Bean Day. I spent a lot of time over the holidays with grandkids, so I have to say it. Now, there's a couple different versions of this song, though, right? You got beans, the musical fruit. The more you eat, the more you toot, so the better you feel. So eat your beans at every meal. And then you got beans, they're good for your heart. The more you eat, the more you fart. The more you fart, the better you feel. So eat your beans at every meal. Which version did you learn? Let me know in the comments. Did you learn the good for your heart version or beans, the musical fruit version? I'm going to put it in the question of the day. Come on, everybody, Gen X or Boomer or whatever. I don't know if millennials learned this one. Did you learn the good for your heart version or the, and I'll put this as one. Number 1, or the musical fruit version, number 2. So let me know in the comments. You can use 1 or 2 to make it easy so you don't have to type it all in. Did you learn the good for your heart version of this classic piece of American and Americana, or did you learn the musical fruit version? Let me know in the comments. I want to hear it. Allison Foy learned the musical fruit version, and the musical Tim Klyla learned the musical fruit. Rob Stewart prefers the good for your heart version. Yeah, good for the heart, right? Cold plunging has stopped. I don't blame you. No judgment here. No judgment here. So, all right. Well, let us know since today. And by the way, alternative question of the day. What's your favorite kind of bean? Do you like kidney beans, black beans, lima beans, or what are the white ones that go in like ham and bean soup? Those white beans. Are they just white beans? I don't know what they are. So I'm a bean guy. However, it does not make me popular with my wife. I'm not going to lie. She would not love that I'm a bean guy. But anyway, all right, my friends. Well, since we've got 34 of you on and we are already so talkative today, let's go ahead and get to the good stuff here and talk about what we've got going on for the day. Let's start out with a quick recap of what happened yesterday down here in the bottom corner. I'm going to go ahead and make this larger, and let's bring up Presentify. Come on. Presentify. There we go. All right. So taking a look here. Let's go ahead and see. Yesterday, pricing came out right around here. We're on 99.75. It did improve through the afternoon, through the late morning rather, and then it leveled off through the afternoon. Ended up being about 5 basis points higher on the day than when rate sheets came out, but really only the most trigger happy lenders, the ones that are really cutting things close, bothered to issue any updated pricing. Most lenders aren't going to move for five basis points. So there was really nothing of merit there. And if we take a look this morning, we are back here to 99.75, which is right about where we were yesterday when pricing came out. So you know what that means? That means rate sheets today should be about the same as yesterday, which to say is great. Taking a look here at using Mortgage News Daily as a reference point, we have been right within this 6.20, 6.19 range. If you remember, the only thing that was better was 6.13. And that was right before the two Fed meetings. Now, I want to go ahead and point something out real quick here, too. Yesterday, Ron Siegel convinced me to go ahead and move over to the 5.0 coupon. I've been watching the 5.5. There's not a tremendous amount of difference between them, but here's one thing I do want to show you real quick. If we compare the 5.5 coupon to the 5.0, now the 5.0 has had more trading volume. So therefore, that's one reason to follow it. The other reason to follow it is generally whatever the coupon number is, you're looking at 0.75 to generally about 1.25 above that. That is, if you add that, that is what your base rate should look like. Okay. And again, this is just a rough average, and it has to do with lenders and the secondary department selling into the coupons. So generally you're looking at like 5.75 to 6.25. And we've been kind of between that 6.25 and 6.5 range, which is part of why I've also been following the 5.5. But what I want to show you here is you will see that there is at about 99.90, we've got a pretty consistent level right about there. At 99.90, and you can see that it has broken above a couple of times. Whereas when I switch to the 5.5 coupon, we don't see that same behavior. The 5.5 coupon, we are above basically right here, which was 101.28. And we're kind of way above that. And this was kind of the high point, right? And the previous high point for the year was actually right here. On the October 28th, and it was 101.41. So bonds are up there at that high point. But when we go back to that 5.0, we see one thing that's of merit is when we see better rate sheets at 6.13, when we move back and take a look here, if we roll this back and look right before the Fed meetings, we had these better rate sheets of 6.13 right before the Fed meeting. When we look at this coupon, you're right here and right here. So that was right before the Fed meeting, October 28th, September 16th. Those Tuesdays, you'll notice, they actually were better than where we're at right now. We're actually a little bit lower. So that's why they actually do correspond to what we would have seen with better rate sheet pricing here, more than the 5.5 coupon. So that's kind of an interesting thing on that today. Otherwise, reprice risk on the day is low. 10-year treasury yield still very much right at that 4.17, 4.18 area. Really not moving too much higher. No concern here. Not really worried about seeing bonds get much worse than they are now. They're down a few basis points on the morning, but they've kind of leveled off, and we're still well above support, which is around 99.60, and below the resistance, which I would say is around 99.90. There's nothing on today's economic calendar, so there's nothing there that we have to worry about even a little bit. Remember, tomorrow, JOLTS data, the ADP data, ISM, non-manufacturing going to come out, so we'll have more movement tomorrow. But you're still not going to see rates make any big moves. Rates are really, really stable right now. We'll see some movement in pricing. Rates, if they go up or down an eighth of a point, it's going to be a big deal. We really have grown very complacent. So what happens is when rates are not moving much, that's when everyone gets antsy, and all the smaller changes, kind of make a little bit of a difference, and people are looking at that. So, but looking at the Fed futures here, there's really no change on the Fed outlook. Everything is the same there. There's been nobody's really talking about the Fed now. I think things will be quiet between now and when Powell leaves in May. I don't think there's going to be much of a movement. Markets tend to agree with me. There's a pretty strong possibility they could do a rate cut next in March, but I think this will actually fall. I think this column will move higher and this column's going to fall. And that's not going to hurt pricing. Oh, you guys aren't seeing it. Hold on. Let me get rid of there you go. So you'll see this move up, this move down. I don't think, but again, you're not really going to see much of a movement there. So really not much on there. As far as headlines go, it's all the same stuff that we've been seeing. And Venezuela, a big piece of it. We talked yesterday for a brief moment about the whether this is for oil. I do think oil plays a major role in it. I definitely heard Ron Siegel. I was on his show for a while listening to him provide some information about some of the changes. Again, you can form your own opinion, but the key here is none of that is affecting mortgage rates right now. There's nothing of merit there. I don't think this week's labor market data is really going to be all that beneficial either. Here is a fun thing to kind of lean in on, though. Is that Moran says over 100 basis points of cuts needed in 2026. Is he a puppet of the president, or does he really believe that? He's actually, I mean, he's supposed to be a bright guy. He's certainly very versed on this information. So you would think that he's got to believe it at some level to argue it. But Stephen Moran said the central bank will need to cut interest rates by more than a point, arguing monetary policy is restraining the economy. I don't think there's any signs that monetary policy is restraining the economy. And as far as housing affordability, as much as nobody wants to hear it, house prices need to stagnate. Rates need to be there. This needs to happen for a while. If we do something to try to drive mortgage rates lower, what's going to happen is it's going to allow home prices to start to creep back up. Right now, home prices in many markets have softened a little bit. Not badly. We're certainly not looking for any kind of 2008 numbers, but it's softened a bit, which is what we need. If you look at Logan Moshami, he pointed out that there are more people with rates above, I think it was either 6 or 7%. I think it's 6%, than there are below 3%, but there's still a lot of people with 4s and 5s, and 4s and 5s is big difference from 6. But I do think we could see some chance of maybe creeping into those 5s. So we'll want to be aware of that and looking at that. So as far as other comments out there, Rob Stewart, refried beans. I forgot about refried beans. Red beans, I always called kidney beans. Are red beans and kidney beans different? Red beans and rice. Derek said, where do I think the 10-year will be through the year? I think we'll get to 3.9 to 4. It's possible. I mean, we'll definitely see what we've seen before. It could go down as low as 3 3/4 even, depending on if there's, a bursting of some of the AI stock stuff and perception. Perception creates a lot of it. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy for a lot of this stuff. If markets believe we're seeing weakness, we could see increases there. So I think we could see it drop down. I don't think it'll go much more than 4.5. I think 3.9 to 4 is a little soft. I think we're going to see it around 4.25. Between 4 and 4.25 is, I think, where we're going to spend at least the next few months. And that's all we can really look to try to get an idea on is those next few months. So keep that in mind. Other things, let me just throw it up here. Make sure if you're looking to get more loans from your social media, go check out grabandgosocial.com. Grab and Go Social is a done for you, done with you coaching. It's got content. It's got coaching and community. So if you are not getting loans, you want to build your online presence, you want to build your social media presence, you want to get more out of, say, YouTube or TikTok or Facebook or Instagram, then definitely go check out Grab and Go Social. It's run by Austin Sierra on my team. Austin is a powerhouse when it comes to social marketing. Go check that out, grabandgosocial.com. Also, don't forget to sign up for our free daily email lock advice at www.ratelockadvice.com, as well as our text alerts at www.ratetextalerts.com. So let's go ahead and answer the rest of the questions of the day. How many of y'all heard the musical fruit versus the heart? We got the hearts and the fruits. Nicole was both. And then we were asking chickpea. Are chickpeas beans? That would explain why I don't like them. I'm not a big chickpea fan. Not a hummus fan. Derek Bobadilla, black beans or pinto beans. Once you go black, you never go back. Ron Siegel. Yeah, black beans are a good source of protein, I think, aren't they? Or am I misremembering that? So, anyway, well, thank you, my friends. That's all I got for you today. I hope you all have a fantastic day and enjoy these nice, stable rates. Let me ask you, what would you guys like me to do more? Do you like the current format of the live show, the way that I'm doing it with the thirds, kind of that same progression every day where we talk about what's going on in the markets and the headlines? Or would you like something more? Let me know, either DM me or let me know in the comments. Anyone I didn't get to say hello to, legumes. Legumes is beans, right? Legumes is beans. Beans are legumes. So anyone I didn't get to say hi to, hello. And I'd like to know, because if I'm going to do this thing, we got to grow this thing. I want to get 100 or 150 people a day live. I got to get it out there. So, all right, my friends. Well, I hope you have a fantastic day. Ron Siegel, take care, my friend, and bye-bye.